going on, everyone? This is Tony with RCHelp.com. Alright, differentials are done, transmission's done. Let's get to the suspension components. And as you can see, more cleaning. This truck was dirty, man. So what I'm going to do first off, there's no reason for me to show you guys this. I'm going to take these arms to the kitchen sink, and I'm just going to take one of them bottle brushes and hot water, and I'm going to clean all this dirt off. So there's no sense in using rags and all that. Everybody's got a sink. So yeah, I mean, even if you had to, you could just use an old toothbrush and scrub it. It'll come clean. So I'm going to wash these down, and then we're going to start tearing these apart, checking everything, and putting them all back together. And most importantly, them aluminum arms are going to go away. So go get these clean, then I'll be right back. And there we go. They're already 100 times better. Now, as you can see, I didn't go and try to get them as clean as possible, because we're basically going to do the same thing on these that we did on the differentials, and that is a little WD-40, little red rag, and clean it off. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take these things completely apart because of how much dirt is possibly up inside here. We don't want these balls pivoting when there's dirt. It's just going to wear them out prematurely. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the drive shafts from all of them, and then we'll pull these caps out. Take the nut off. You can kind of push it and then push it out. That's one thing I wanted to mention. In the disassembly video, I had mentioned that there was a lot of play. Well, I didn't have this pushed all the way back. So that one rear arm that had a lot of play doesn't actually have that much play. Alright, got that out. We can pull the axle out. We'll do the same thing for every one of them. Sometimes you'll have a burr on the little hole right there, and it can be a little booger to get out. Most of the time, if it's like that, it'll take the bearing with it, and that's fine. Alright, there's two. This one's going to be this same way. I didn't bring the bearing. I'll be darned. And 4. We do want to clean the bearings as well, because they're kind of crusty. This one here is wicked tight. Same with this one. Bearing? Yes, brought the bearing with it. Alright, you're going to want a 5mm Allen wrench. Go in here and take these caps all the way out, and they should be tight. They should be hard to take out. These are 2 pieces. What you have is you have the aluminum, and then you have a plastic bushing. In fact, I will go ahead and leave those apart. We'll set those right there. Do the same thing for this one. And we'll take that one apart a little later. So now you can look in there and you can see the actual adjustment Allen head. So what we do here is just unscrew it, and it'll unscrew it from the arm. And then from there, you can just push them out. And now we can kind of look up inside there, and there wasn't really much in this one. But I would rather completely disassemble these things and check every one of them, make sure they're nice and clean, maybe put a little oil in there, a little grease. Push this one out. And there we go. I'm going to leave this arm on there. There's no reason to take it off. But if you look up in there, you can see a spot that I missed because the drive shafts were in there. We'll clean that here in a second. Alright, we're going to set that off to the side, set these off to the side, set the A-arms up here. And another way you can do it is just put your Allen head in there, the small one, and just go ahead and unscrew the arms right here. Alright, that one's up. That is, I thought it was still in the plastic, and I kept unscrewing. That thing is wicked tight. Alright, next. Alright. Now, take our 5mm Allen wrench, pop the caps off. And remove the ball. That one looks pretty good. Take a look inside there. Doesn't look too bad. This one's the wicked tight one. I think it's just tightened down too far. Yep, that was it. But again, better safe than sorry. It doesn't take a long time to tear these things apart, so there's no reason not to check it. Look inside that one. Yeah, they're pretty good. And again, we're leaving that on. Now I know that the ones that have these turnbuckles on it, these are going to be for the rear. Now to the front, we have to do one extra measure on these, and that is we have to loosen that bolt. And then we can go in there, and they are threaded. We can unscrew that. These, trash. Pop this one out. Again, for anybody that happens to be joining us right now, this is a full in-depth rebuild of this T-Maxx. The last one I did was kind of an overview, and people were asking for more specifics. That is exactly what this is. Pop that one out. That ball looks alright. Down in there, yeah, not bad. Yeah, this one's good and tight. Oh my god, I can't get it off. Alright, pop that ball out. Look down inside, it'll be this one. Yeah, there's some shmoo in there. Alright, set that to the side. Once again, for the second time. Oh my god. Really? Really? It looks like a wood screw too. Oh. It is. Oh my god. What was it? Guess what? Trash. You're out of here. Alright, there's those arms. We can set that Allen wrench off to the side, Phillips off to the side. Go ahead and pop these caps out. That one just fell out. Cool. Alright. Oh. Uh-oh. You see what I see? That one's cross-threaded. No bueno. I didn't see that during the teardown. Threads aren't screwed up too bad. I think we can get it back in there and get it back in the original threads. It did take that bushing off though. Usually it doesn't do that. Alright, take the ball out. And there we go. Now we want to remove all of these bearings. To do that, I'm just going to use a flat bladed screwdriver and pop them out. What in the world is all that schmoo? Oh, it's just dirt. Okay. Alright. 2 bearings. Red rag. Alright. Got our red rag here. That's where we're going to put all the bearings, because we're going to soak these with WD-40. In fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and fold it one more time just to help catch all that WD-40. Put that right there. And remove the bearings from the rest of them. That one doesn't have one, Beavis. There we go. This right here is the red rag from the differential rebuild, so it's got a lot of WD-40 on it. What we're going to do is I'm just going to run it like this to get most of that dirt off. Alright, so there is 6 bearings. Now I need to get the other 2 bearings. Just going to grab it with my towel, pull it off, and clean it. This one's all the way back at the end. I didn't think so. I have to use a screwdriver to help force that one up. Pull it off, clean it. Now, I'm going to take one of these drive shafts and I'm going to use that to check them. Little gritty, not bad. Little gritty, not bad. A little more gritty. That one feels really good. Alright, this is one of them from the rear that is wanting to lock up. But it's just got a little dirt in there. I'm going to put that one over here. That one feels really good. So I'm going to put the really good ones over here. These three were kind of iffy. That one's really good. Man, that one's really good. Alright, so we have one that is pretty gritty. I mean, I'm going to work on that one first. We're going to see if we can hit it with a little WD-40. Let it kind of get down in there. Work it around. And it is freeing up. Right on. Alright, a little more WD-40. Okay, a lot more WD-40. And what I'm doing, I'm putting my hand right here to protect my monitor, which is right there, and then just flip it. Yeah. It's not perfect, but it's a whole lot better than it was. So with that, we're going to put those four together because those are meh, and these are yeah. And we're just going to, you know what? Yeah. Alright, little WD-40. All y'all get some love. And we're just going to let those soak. We'll come back to them later. Alright, remember how I said that I didn't really go, 100% on this? It's because I knew I had this rag soaked with WD-40, and I can go in here and wipe down every single one of them. Of course, it would help if I would frame. And by the time we get this truck running, this WD-40 will have evaporated, and yeah, won't be an issue. So that's what they look like. I do have a third ready rag that we can wipe this off with. There we go, perfectly clean. I am going to do that for every one of these A-arms, and then I'll come back. I don't think you guys want to watch me clean A-arms. Oh, so that was, I don't know, 30 minutes of cleaning right there. I pulled all of these little black pieces out of those guys. I'm sure you're asking, what in the world you got going on here? I basically just put them all on the Allen driver, put it in my drill, and then I spun the drill, and at the same time, I put a wire brush underneath it because there was a bunch of crap in these threads. So, yeah, I mean, there is one spot, let's see if I can get it around here for you guys. One spot right there, you guys can barely see it, that, yeah, it's just kind of boogered up. So, that's how I cleaned all of those. I did clean out inside every one of the cups before I did this. So now, get over. Now we are just going to take all these little plastic pieces. Some of them have a little lip on them, like that one right there. And what I've been doing is grabbing my X-Acto knife and trying to take that lip off. Or at least knock it down to where I can get this on. Alright, there's one. Dos. Trois. because I don't count in foreign languages. Alright, so there we go. 8 of them little suckers, all the bushings are in. Some of them pushed in real easy. They're, yeah. Some of them, I had to take the handle of the screwdriver, turn them upside down like that, and then hit them in order to get them to go on. So, yeah. Alright, let's set those right there. Here's all of our balls. I did clean all of those. The way I did that is I just put it on there like shaw, and then clean. If I don't go over this, I know somebody's going to ask. Alright, these right here, these were a little bit more of a pain. As you can see, my rag is at a point. What I did was I folded this over, cleaned out inside here because, well, large, and then I took this, fed it through here, did that number, and remember, that's your deep well, shallow. So on these, I actually turned it around and went this way. That way I could get all the inside nice and clean. I did that on every single one of them. I just realized I missed some dirt. I cannot leave dirt. Nay, nay. I'm sure there's going to be some. There's no way I'm going to be able to get every single speck of dirt off of here. It's not that I'm not going to try. Like the head of that screw, that's got to go. Yeah. So there we go. And I am checking all of these. So anybody that was wondering about that, I am checking those. Alright, here's all the drive shafts. Let's move these out of the way. All the drive shafts, pretty clean. Yes, yes, yes. Alright, here's all your wheel hexes. Again, clean. And then, let's push all that out of the way because A-arms. But Tony, there's some missing. I guess that's where this pack comes into play then. Yeah, lower A-arms, $7.50. In my opinion, well worth it to get rid of them aluminums. Alright, grab the X-Acto knife, do some surgery. There we go. Alright, before we move on to setting these up, let's go ahead and check these bearings and see how they are doing. So I will grab just any random drive shaft. Let's go ahead and check it. That one's great. I've seen freer bearings, but it'll do. Put a little more WD-40 on this one, see if we can't work this one. I think it actually pushed a little bit into this one. Oh yeah, there we go. Let's I'm gonna take and just try to brush some of that dirt off of that bearing. I know it's gonna push some in, so I'm gonna have to sit here and basically work it just a little bit. That feels good. Okay. Once again, this one, it's not gritty, but it's tight. It's like there's gummed up grease inside there. So, a little bit of WD-40. Work it. It is absolutely amazing what just a little bit of WD-40 can do to a bearing. And if this doesn't get it clean, brake cleaner will. Alright, there we go. That one feels perfect. That one's a little tight. These are the ones I'm wondering about, because these were the ones that were kind of gritty and still kind of gritty, getting better. So let's hit them with a little more WD-40. Alright, just got really gritty. Alright, let's go ahead and flip it over. See if we can't let gravity work for us. A little more WD-40. Don't be afraid to use some WD-40 now. All I'm doing here is just running it back and forth on my finger. Try to loosen it up. This one I think we're actually going to have to take apart, but it is spinning free enough. We'll put it that way. Alright, that one, good. This one, oh yeah, that one freed up real good. And the 8th bearing, this one's got a little schmoo in it. We just need to work it. There we go. Alright. So with that done, we're going to hit it with a little bit of oil. Okay, a lot of bit of oil. Because I don't think these bearings will be taken off again. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Alright. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to put one of these and one of these on each axle. And now that we got those, I know they're done. We'll go ahead and set those over there. Set the axle here. That axle is very wet, so we will dry it off. Alright, so now, get all this stuff out of the way. Now we're going to set these up. And there's multiple ways that you could do this as far as which one to do first. You could put your axles in with the bearings. You could take these right here, grab a ball, put it in there, screw on an arm. What we're going to do is we're going to take these, grab a couple of the balls, drop them in there. Then we're going to grab a couple of these and we're going to put them on. So I'm trying to remember which one was cross-threaded, and I think it was this one. So I'm going to try to go back in and not cross-thread it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to screw this all the way down. This thing should be very hard to move. Then we're going to back it off till it is easy to move. Easier than that. There, that's what I wanted. Alright, now we're going to take a little plug. If you will take and put it in there and then go in reverse, you'll feel it drop into that thread, and then right there. Now you know you're not going to cross thread it when you put it back in. So I just want to check it. Alright, it's gotten tight. There it goes. So these are not set up, but they're in there. So now we're going to go ahead and put the A-arms on. I'm going to start with the brand new lowers. I just noticed something. These are different. This has a notch right here, whereas this one doesn't. Cool. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our Allen driver, put it into the ball. This is, the small one. And then we're going to thread it in here. And we're going to thread. And we're going to thread. And we're going to go until this thing stops turning. You don't want to use excessive force. But once you feel it starting to bind up, stop. And I'll tell you why we're doing it that way a little later. Go ahead and put the upper control arm on. These already have threads in them, so if you're pulling these apart like I am, make sure you're going back in the same threads. Go all the way until it gets tight and stops. That's it. That's all you need to do. Now, what I want to do is tighten these down. That's going to hold that arm up. See the angle I got it? So now you'll take it, back it off, make sure your Allen wrench isn't pushing in on the little piece of plastic. Back it off. Until you see it start to fall. Once it starts to fall, you know that there is still tension in there, but you also know it's nice and free. We are going to do the same thing to this one. Tighten it, pull it up again, that angle, and then back it off right there. So now these should have a little bit of friction, but they shouldn't bind. They should be oh so smooth. If you want these things to be as free as possible, back it off about an hour. Test it. I can still feel it somewhat rubbing. Back it off another hour, and there we go. There's absolutely no play in here, but it's going to loosen that suspension up to where it's not binding. See, that one didn't take near as much. Go just a hair more, and that's perfect. Absolutely no play in or out. Now we get to do that for all the others. Alright, once again for the second time, drop a ball in. Drop a ball in. Make sure, if it's tight going in, just make sure it's loose down there. Drop that one in. That knuckle must have been replaced. Grab a cap. Grab a cap. Now take your Allen driver, back it off, and then go forward. I did feel it click into place. Alright, I just basically put that one up and waited until it fell. That way I know this will move really well. Alright, back it off. I felt it fall, but I don't think it fell into the right one. So the plastic piece came off, and you can just go ahead and feed it in there. However, I don't like doing that. I would rather that plastic piece stay in this. That way I know I'm not going to damage this bushing by screwing this in with that already in there. So what I'm going to do is hold it upside down since it wants to fall off. Kind of loosen it till I feel it click in. Then I'm going to take the ball and push it down against it. Now we can go ahead and screw it in. This one is wicked tight. Alright, there it fell. Nice and loose. Alright, now that we got that, this one right here is going to be your left front, just in case you guys are keeping track. Grab our other new A-arm. Use some force, push in whenever you're trying to create these new threads. And once again, keep going. Keep going until you feel that sucker bottom out, which is right there. That's it. Don't worry about it. Making it shiny with all the WD-40 that's on my hands. Alright, now time for the upper control arm. Again, make sure you're going in the same threads. Right there, it stopped. That's it. Okay. Let's go ahead and set these up. There it is. Right there it fell. And that's perfect. Wrong Allen driver. Alright, tighten it. Let's turn it over. Pull it up. Loosen it. There we go. Love it. Love it. Alright, so hopefully that gets you an understanding of how you do that. I'm going to go ahead and toss these two together and we'll continue. Alright, screw it in the last one here. And we screw, 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 screw. Stopped. Excellent, right there. Alright, now I just need to do my little quick adjustment. Make sure everything is nice and smooth. That one might be a little too loose. Tighten it up. No, actually it was quite perfect. Alright, so there's our rears, here's our fronts. So I know you guys are asking, alright, why did we take this Allen driver and screw these in all the way until they bottomed out? Wouldn't a wider truck give you better stability? These trucks aren't going to notice a half a centimeter of width, you know what I mean? You want to screw them in all the way so you have the most threads, and also these holes are drilled at a specific depth. They are drilled so that when you screw them in all the way, you should have -2 degrees of camber on all four. Alright, so now I want to make it easy to pull these bearings out. I guess I could put them in frame for you guys. I want to make it easy to pull these out. These are the ones that are still kind of gritty. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to put them on the outside of the axles. Then I'm going to take the good ones. If you notice, the side that I oiled, I'm putting to the inside. Just pop that in there, push it down, grab us an axle, throw us an axle in there, push it through, why you no go, thank you. Oh yeah, I probably should have filed that little lip off. You can take one of your hexes and put it on there, and that'll help you get that bearing down there. Alright, just feel it. It's spinning, so hey, if it's working, I like it. Alright, we got our pins up here. They're kind of out of frame for you guys, but I'm just going to kind of roll them here on the towel. That's all the cleaning we need to do to them. They weren't that dirty. Take our pin, put it through the hole, take our hex, line up the pin, and push it in, and there we go. So like I said, there is still a little bit of grit, but it's on the outside. If I notice that it doesn't free up after we get it running, I'm going to pull that bearing out and either replace it, or I'm going to take the shielding off and clean it with brake cleaner or something like that. So I'm just going to go through, get all these bearings in here. When they go in, it didn't feel like it seated in there. Alright, there's that one. There's that one. Drive shaft. Pin. And hiding underneath the A-arm, the hex. There's two. Grab a pin, pop it in there, and these are not roll pins. These are just pins. They can and will fall out on you. All right, that one's on there, and the last one. There we go. Throw our pin in there. Get it somewhat even, side to side. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then make sure you push in, because see all that play? That's how much play there is without a tire on here. However, when you start screwing a tire on there, it's going to push that in, and that's going to take all the play out of these. So again, dirty bearings are on the outside. The bearings that I couldn't get clean for this segment, they will become clean. I guess I could go ahead, and these are the fronts. Go ahead and put these on. That's the back. There's the front. The only reason I'm doing that is because these have kind of a lip, whereas these do not. And I did almost lose this screw down the drain. Thankfully I didn't. This it just goes into one of these, and I just had it hanging in there, and yeah, I forgot to take it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean it, because we cleaned everything else on these A-arms. Purdy. And there we go. So now we have 4 nice and clean A-arms ready to go on the truck, along with the transmission and 2 different, man, look at that. Oh, yeah, that looks really good. Other than the engine, which I feel kind of bad holding this over all this nice clean stuff. This is a headache and a half is what this is. But other than the engine, all I need to do is wash the rest of the parts. You know, do the same thing I did to these A-arms, take them to the sink, done. Maybe come back in here, little WD-40, little red rag, done. So guys, I do hope you're enjoying this series. I know I am greatly enjoying it. I mean, this is what's fun about this hobby, being able to tinker and take stuff old and beat up and worn out and make it work like new again, make it look like new again. If you enjoyed this, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It'd be greatly appreciated. If you want to help us out, support us, those links are down in the description. Not required, but if you want to, there they are. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions of future videos, post them in the comments section below. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.